Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're back. It's Knights of Eveningstar here on the D&D channel. I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes, and as always, I'm joined by four incredible, heavenly, celestial beings that are my players. I am joined by Anna Prosser, Jonathan Indovino, aka ShadyPenguinn, Nate Sharp, and of course Mica Burton as well. Welcome, dearest friends. How are we all?
Have you ever reversed the names? Have you ever been Hulmes, Sherlock, Mark?
I have not. I have never reversed the name. I can say that. It's very dangerous. It's like reversing the polarity of a tachyon beam or some nonsense.
I'm just saying, consider it.
Okay, all right. I will do. I will put that. Maybe jumble it up. Maybe Sherlock Hulmes Mark rather than just fully reverse. And bam.
See? Yeah, that flows way better than whatever I said.
Good stuff. How's everyone been? Is everyone well?
Well,
Anything exciting?
It's exciting that none of us are sick.
That is exciting. That's a great
in this
thing.
moment.
Freshly boosted today. I am fresh. I got
Nice.
my booster, so I'm good.
Mark, you honestly, I have to say, because we didn't say this before we started recording, you look good right now. Like
You do.
Right.
You
Thank
do.
you.
that shirt
I have a
is
dewy
like,
glow.
yeah, you got a glow. The shirt that you're wearing is like very flattering. Like it's.
I don't know
a
if it's
good
the
vibe.
fresh booster or if you
I think
just
it's
like.
a booster.
I think it's the
That's
booster.
it.
Oh, you
Get
look
your booster,
good. You get your
people.
booster?
Yeah, I got my booster. You should get your booster. Shady's going to pay you a compliment. If you get yours, he's going to tell you that you look good.
He's going to tweet at
And honestly-
every single individual person that says they get
Oh
their
God,
booster.
no! Stop! I gotta go.
And your heart's going to docky a little bit when he says that to you, just like
Sure.
mine did. Because look at this handsome man.
He's so handsome.
He's so handsome. Well, that's good. Everyone's not sick. I got a compliment, so I'm winning. Speaking of winning, though, let's all win by playing some Dungeons and Dragons. How about that?
Mark,
gonna
you can't
win today?
You can't win. In
With
Dungeons
that
and
attitude, you
Dragons.
can't.
Guys, let me tell you something. Every time I play D&D with you, I
Yeah.
win.
Oh, wow. There it is.
And 20 people just left because it's just too sappy. We want blood.
Blood.
They
Well,
can't handle the sugar.
Yeah.
well,
Nation
they want
if you want
spice.
blood, stick around. There might be some blood.
No.
I put into, we have a little group chat for Knights of Eveningstar where we organize stuff. And, you know, when I'm planning sessions, I think this is a good thing to do as a DM. Just check in with your players and be like, do you guys fancy anything? Do you have like a particular preference? Do you want to do some social? Do you want to do some exploration? I got a very big resounding like, we want to fight stuff. So that is, yeah, I'm just, no spoilers, but I'm just saying, you know, check in with your players, see what they
Are
want
you
to do.
saying that we're feral, Mark? Are you saying? Are you exposing us?
I'm saying you're feral. The
Yeah,
others
that's
not
fair.
so much.
I
You were
was
the
like, I want
first
to kill
one.
things.
Yeah, you were
Murder.
like in there straight away.
Look, we've done a lot of homework. We've done a lot of math.
Yeah.
We've
all
done-
the
there's
time.
been a
Just
lot
hit
of math.
stuff.
So much
Yeah.
math.
Yeah,
You know what you
there's
don't
been-
have to do when you're murdering? Do math.
Well, you do have to do a little bit of math because it is D&D and math is involved.
It's fair.
But only a little bit of math. But we've been doing a lot of romance, which we'll get to in the little recap and stuff like that. There's been a lot of socializing. There has been a lot of spreadsheets. But things are sort of happening in Eveningstar. Speaking of which, would you like a little recap on what happened in our previous episode?
Yes,
I love
please.
it.
Lovely. Just checking in with Nate. All good.
Yeah.
I like checking in with you. Cool. So, last time on Knights of Eveningstar, the Council of Rule, the nobles and advisors of Eveningstar, have begun to shape the township's future, having spent time debating and deciding on the kingdom's development for the month, as well as helping to name some of the features in the town that had yet to be detailed, including the new blacksmith, a Kenku called Donk Wobble, who created some new armor for Clyve of the Wildmane as well. The party then completed their task for Lady Vanifer Braywinter, a reclusive noblewoman who had sent them to retrieve the magical lantern called the Darklight from her family's former home, earning a considerable payday, as well as a bonus for giving her a potion of longevity, and the deed to the lands around Castle Braywinter was their reward. Returning to Eveningstar, settling in for the evening and relaxing, I believe that Elissa, the blade captain of Eveningstar, paid a visit to a certain Lady Mithras, Magister Mithras, and they had a lovely conversation. But whilst that happens, if this were a movie, if this was cinematic, as we see the nights, the sort of the candlelit windows of Starwatch Keep, your keep that overlooks the town of Eveningstar, we see, people going to bed. The candles are lit as people retire to their bed chambers. Perhaps we even see Blade Captain Alyssa sort of leaving Azara's tower to head back to the barracks or some such, or perhaps going in. We don't know. There is another figure, clad in a green cloak. They slip past the guards, the sentries that patrol the walls of Starwatch Keep, silently, seemingly mystically. They tread their way across the courtyard and slip into the keep itself. Who are they? Who do they seek? We don't know. But as they do so, others dream. Agnis, sleep overtakes you. The exhaustions of running the kingdom, of meeting the people, eventually take you, and you find yourself slumbering, and your dreams begin to form. You find yourself in an old wood. Much of it has been cleared, burnt away, the bracken, the branches, the leaves on the ground reduced to ash. You find yourself standing in a wide clearing, circular, perfectly so. As you begin to make your way walking through, you begin to see at first what you think are fireflies, but they begin to glow brighter. Their flames become bright orange as 9 flames appear within the very air itself, and they stretch themselves out, encircling you around this grove until you are completely surrounded. They burn so brightly that eventually your vision becomes naught but orange and yellow flame. And a voice speaks out from these flames to you. Daughter of fire, much time have you spent caring for your nest of sticks and stones, of the short, flickering candles that surround you. You feel there is a sense of chastisement, but also pride combined in this speech. And you know that this is a deep, primordial spirit that is conversing with you. Fire can nurture, can give life and help growth. But if you truly wish to be a child of flames, you must do more. With that last line, the flames almost seem to pulse with each kind of sentence. You get a sense that this is no actual figure, but they're flames themselves. Do you say anything? Is there a way that you would respond, or is there a way that Agnis is feeling in this moment? Do you have any questions?
If I sense that it's a primordial spirit, I think I'll take a knee, like kind of a warrior knee, and I will say, do more. What do you mean?
It speaks again. Fire burns. Fire consumes. Fire destroys so that new life can begin. The druids of wildfire, our circle, this ancient order of which you have joined. We can help life, but we must also know what it means to devour it. 3 tasks we set before you, Agnis 5 Flames. Complete these tasks, and you will ascend. There is a moment, and the flames pull back, and you now see that kind of, once again, this kind of burnt down grove where a wildfire has clearly ravaged it. And where there was ash and dead, blackened wood, you begin to see sproutlings, small plants just poking their way through the now fertile soil that the ash has nourished. Fire cleanses away the dead earth, burns away corruption and infestation, clears ground for new roots to take seed. You know this, but you do not know it. You must scorch the land. You must clear away the dying brush so that it may be replanted.
Spirit, these are precepts I know well. I have studied them. I believe them. But what are the tasks you ask of me? Surely not to burn Eveningstar.
The flames grow in a flash, a sort of fickle moment of anger. Your home, this land you care for, it does not need to be burnt. But there are other lands full of disease, of corruption, dead woods, old places that must be cleansed. For if new life is to grow, these places must be renewed. It doesn't give you a sense of, you get the sense that there is a task here, but this spirit isn't going to probably communicate it. And you would understand from your teachings in the circle that these moments where nature specifically reaches out to you, it's as much about you exploring the lesson as it is fulfilling it. It's about you kind of figuring this stuff out as much as it is. You do see the flames kind of burn away for a moment, and now the air becomes chill. A wind begins to blow through, and these 9 flames that were once so bright shrink down until they are but sputtering, flickering embers upon the ground. And the voice is there, whispered though it is, but no less powerful. Fire is the rampaging inferno, but also the quiet ember that faces the bitter wind, its light flickering in ragged bursts. When you have become the ember, you will understand.
There's like actually a tear in Agnes's eye because that was so beautiful and speaks to her so much. The image of being an ember against the wind, because she doesn't want to destroy, but she wants to use fire to create. So she kind of bows her head and says, I will always strive to be that ember, and when necessary, to be that cleansing fire. Am I right, Spirit, in understanding that you speak more to matters of the heart and of family than to stone and wood and charcoal?
The spirit doesn't respond.
My apologies. No more questions.
No, it's not that. It's you don't even get the sense it's an apology. You get the sense that maybe the spirit doesn't really understand what those matters of heart you mean are. Like this is, you get the sense that this is not a human sentience. This is the essence of fire, and this is the essence of the earth. So things like, your brother and things like that, it doesn't really make that connection. But it probably would say something along the lines of like, we are all bound. All are united by blood. The wood, the charcoal, it comes from the tree that once bore life. It is for you to decide, you to understand, to learn the lessons of the circle of fire. Our final task, a more direct, seek out a fire spirit of great strength and power. Whether you dominate it, whether you destroy it, whether you bring it into yourself, will mark the trial. 3 tasks we set. 3 tasks the circle bears against you. Claim them, and you will ascend and be granted a mantle worthy of 6 flames.
I bow and say, my humble thanks. But Spirit, why me?
You have been taught the ways, but you do not yet understand. As a parent, as a child, as an oak, as a seed, the lessons will be passed on. Thus the circle is complete. And all this whole time, like the fire's kind of raging around you and it builds. And then you begin to feel this disconnection. You begin to feel light and airy. Your vision begins to fade. You still have time if there's questions, but you can feel that this, whatever this communication, this communion is coming to an end.
I just kind of bow and say, I will burn as brightly as I can.
That seems to please the spirit. You get the sense that the fire kind of like pulses in pride at that, and then the heat begins to dissipate from your limbs. You begin to feel just kind of that dark sleep of no dreaming kind of take over kind of thing, and you begin to fade away. I will send you a personal quest, which will have some sort of reminders about these 3 tasks, but they're not going to be specific. They are going to be sort of a little bit more vague and druidic to be worked out and to be sort of meditated upon. And we can talk about those as well, and talk about those overseas. But yeah, cool. a little something for Agnes to work towards.
Thank you.
Whilst that dream goes on, Tarkhal. And I'm sorry, Mica and Nate, I will get to you, but there's just some setups here. If you have any questions, or if there's stuff you want your characters to be doing, just jump in, put a hand up or whatever, and we'll jump in with you guys. I just had some stuff planned for these 2. Tarkhal. Mm-hmm. Does Tarkhal go to sleep? You know, would Tarkhal be up quite late, or does Tarkhal sleep? You know, what are the kind of arrangements? What's kind of Tarkhal's kind of usual habits when retiring for an evening?
I think at this point, he's probably pretty. I would say he's asleep before midnight. Mm-hmm. I would imagine that he's kind of walking the grounds until like 11:30, I guess.
All right, sure. You are, asleep. You're a half elf, so maybe it's not necessarily full sleep, but a kind of deep meditative trance or whatever. Mm-hmm. Lying there, sort of recovering your strength. You awake with a start, feeling somebody sort of holding your arm and quite tightly gripping your arm and looming over you. Like you kind of come to a start awake. It's completely dark. It takes a second for your dark vision to kick in. Like what's like Tarkhal's immediate sort of reaction?
If I feel someone gripping my arm tightly, if I can move my other arm, I try to grab my Kiss of Silver immediately.
Yeah, well, you can magically kind of like summon it from the sheath. As soon as you have the blade in hand and that begins to give off that soft silver glow, it illuminates the face of the person in front of you. And looking down, ragged, not ragged, but sweat, hair sort of like falling over half of her face, but with a very wild look, is Willow Song. And she looks deep into your eyes and is like, Tarkhal, we must get up. You have to get up now.
What's going on?
You have to get up. Where's your armor? Do you have your weapon? Something's happened. There are things after me. We need to talk now, immediately. You should get your sister and your friends. Let them know that there is danger.
There's danger for the keep, for the town,
for you, Tarkhal, and maybe them as well. And she kind of looks, and you see that she's like glancing around, like constantly looking out the window. But she hasn't let go of your like arm. She's basically gripping onto it. And there's definitely like, she feels stronger than you remember. Like the grip is quite tight. And there's a lot of the softness from her voice is gone. And she just looks and says, I'm afraid that my mother is quite angry. And I fear that, well, she wanted... You need to get you and your friends ready now, before anything arrives. I know that at least 2, maybe 3 followed me here. You need to get them now, Tarkhal. I'm not joking.
Okay, so I spring out, I guess. Is she following me if I just start?
Yeah, like she won't leave your side. So like if you're putting your armor on, like if you're taking time to like get your leather armor on and stuff like that, or whatever you wear, like she goes up to the door and stealthy as anything. You've never seen her move so quietly. Like she's like glancing down the corridors. She has what looks to be like a kind of Chris dagger, or kind of like curved blade in her hands. Like you didn't see that she was wielding it before. And she's kind of got that like raised up so that if anybody came in, she would, jab them as soon as they walk past.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I'd get my cloak and my leather on quickly, and then I'd head to the closest room, whatever the layout is. I feel like
it'd be Agnis.
It would be Agnis, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I think like Agnis and Clyve would be the next one, and then Azara has her tower, which is separate from the actual bedrooms of the keep. It's like slightly separated. But yeah, you go up to Agnes's door and yeah.
Yeah, I'll just knock panickingly, like, Sister, wake up.
I don't know. How do I wake up?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna do silly things like rolling to wake up and stuff like that. I think like if you heard like banging on your door and your brother calling out, you would.
I kind of
you know, maybe takes you a moment where you're like, wait, did Tarkhal just call me? And then you realize you've
I
woken
think
up.
we've established that Agnes doesn't wake up quickly, so she'll kind of like open the door with a squint and like rub her eyes and be like, "What?
There's danger, Agnes. We have to move. I'm going to grab Lion Man. I'm going.
I'll okay. What?
So when Tarkhal moves off to Clyve, Willow Song will lean in and look at you, Agnes, and just sort of look you up and down and just say like, "Be ready, Crownsilver. Like we need to be ready. Armor, whatever you wear in battle. Something is coming. Something has pursued me here." And then she moves immediately to Tarkhal. Like she just immediately steps off.
All right, I guess I go kind of like ready myself real fast.
Try and pull yourself together. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So Tarkhal, you move over to Clyve's.
I think what I would do for Clyve is I would bang on the door and I would scream, "Clyve, there's a battle that's going to happen. I'm going to grab Azara." And then assume that Clyve is going to be excited. I don't know.
Okay. Sure.
So I bang and I say that. And then do I hear anything from inside his room?
What like time of night is it?
It's probably sort of like 1-2 a.m. This is after most of you. I'd say most of you have had enough time to have a long rest. Make sure that you're all long rested, which I think you guys were anyway, because I don't think we've had any combat.
So actually, before you even start knocking, when you walk up to the door, you just hear like loud footsteps really fast and like things being knocked over and banging.
Clyve, and then I bang on the door. Is someone in there?
Door opens. Tarkhal! Whoa!
Clyve, something has pursued Willow Song here. We have to be ready for battle.
All right then. Be out in a minute. Slam it shut.
I want to ask what Clyve was doing, but I can't. That's not what Tarkhal would do right now.
Yeah. I guess you don't know. I guess we'll never know. For the audience's though sake, Nate, I would very much like to know.
He's doing the cat thing where at like 2 a.m. he just has random energy and just like is knocking shit over and like causing chaos in his room.
Yeah. He's like doing push-ups and like working out and stuff like that. Yeah, he's just like doing squats.
I'm up. Time to cause chaos. And then he would have fallen back asleep in like an hour.
Okay, but for the moment he's awake.
Sleeping on a table or something, all curled up.
Clyve starts like putting on your new armor and gathering your shield and stuff like that. And then so as you move away from Clyve's door, Willow Song will grab your arm. You're going to go wake up the mage, yes? Azara.
Yes, Azara, yes.
She does not trust me, Tarkhal, but I need you to convince her to listen to me, at least for now. And I will reveal, I know she will have many questions, and I will answer them. But you need to trust me on this. Yes, I know. I owe you the most, and I need to tell you a lot. But you need to go and get Azara ready.
For Eveningstar, she'll fight. And the rest, we'll figure out. And I'm just going to take off to the tower.
Sure. Willow Song won't go with you to Azara's tower. Because
Okay.
she knows that Azara doesn't like her. So she's just like...
What? I mean...
She knows. Come on. You've made it very clear.
Dislike is a harsh word. I would say deeply hate.
Deeply hate. There we go. And she knows that.
Yeah.
So she will actually kind of wait for Clyve and Agnis in the corridor of the main keep. So Tarkhal, you make your way. You actually have to go outside to reach Azara's tower. So you spread across the courtyard. Do you want to do anything while you're doing it, or are you just bombing it straight to Azara and you're just like go?
I mean, if there's a quick way for me to parkour up a wall and get there quicker, then I'm going to do that.
I think that's Tarkhal's vibe, 100%. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think like we see you kind of like slide over the grand table of like the downstairs keep rather than having to walk all around it. You just kind of vault over, whoosh, slide across it, maybe sort of throw open the door, sort of throw the knife to kind of like knock the door open and then slide out, kind of thing. You're cool. We can say no roll. Tarkhal's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you reach Azara's tower.
So same thing. I'm gonna bang on the door. Azara.
Mm-hmm.
Azara, wake up. There's danger.
Azara kind of like, she's so used to middle of the night danger in different castles that this doesn't faze her. She like opens the door gently in her like dressing gown and has like a magical face mask on.
Yes.
And it's just like,
yes.
are we talking life or death? Are we talking
I'm
Clyve got stuck in a net again? Are we talking...
Oh, there's some things pursuing Willow Song that followed her here to the keep, and she said that we're all in danger.
Zara will roll her eyes. And she'll be like, oh, your magical dragon girlfriend says we're all in danger. I wonder if she did it. Azara's not happy in the morning. Like, she hasn't had her coffee. Like, you woke her up. She was getting her beauty sleep.
I've never seen her like this, Azara, and just be ready to fight. That's all. I don't want you to get hurt because of something that, something Willow Song may have brought here.
Willow Song, your probably evil dragon girlfriend. Yes, I'll be down.
Not a dragon.
She like closes the door in his face.
Yeah. Sure. And my assumption, by the way, Mica, is that Alyssa did not stay the night or anything like that, so she's not there. Yeah, okay. I assume that because that does matter because I did give Alyssa Alyssa does have combat stats for like joining you in battle and stuff now. So
I think knowing that before Azara closes the door, she'll be like, "I'll get Alyssa," and then shuts the door.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, but to save time, like now that everyone's kind of woken up, we've had a bit of the RP, like you guys can all agree to meet, like you guys can all like assemble like in the main keep or something like that. What's the plan? Like, is there a particular area that you want to be? You have like your main sort of, not quite throne room, but audience chamber with the big sort of war table, like the sort of like table that you kind of manage Eveningstar from. You've got the corridor upstairs with all the different bedrooms. Azara's tower, like where do you guys think that you would sort of like all gather? Where would Tarkhal gather them, I guess? Like where would
I honestly would have pushed to have us meet outside the keep.
Okay.
So
like in the courtyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so like we can see if anyone I'd want to meet like outside the keep.
Right. Okay. So actually head out
the front entrance. Yeah. Like, cause I don't want anyone to come in and destroy the keep, or we need to be able to see if the town's under attack or anything like that.
Okay. Sure. All right.
There's not enough information.
Cool. All right. Yeah. After a moment of time, Alyssa does make her way. Will join if Azara goes and sort of like lets her know what's going on as well. None of the other staff, like Dusk and the other staff, probably won't. They've probably heard it, asked what's going on, but they're not combatants, so they're kind of staying out of it. But yeah, you all gather under the sort of main fortress gate. So there is like a large gate that comes into Eveningstar with a sort of guard tower on either side of it. It's only a small guard tower. These aren't like huge. You can maybe fit like one or two archers up there, and that's kind of about it. So you want to meet outside those main gates. Is that the plan, Tarkhal? Like bring everybody outside the keep, and then so you can look down into the town, and that's where you kind of want to gather everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just for reference,
sure.
Did you Mark? Did you play Gears of War?
I've seen some Gears of War, but I've not fully played it.
Okay.
No.
Have you seen when someone spams the roll and like, I guess it's like Dark Souls. That is
Dark Souls roll, like it. Yes.
How Clyve
moves
at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
He's just jumping and rolling. He's just spamming dodge.
Yeah. He makes a noise like. Like just constantly, just like the link roll.
And stands up next to everyone's just like.
Gets his stamina back. Nice. Yeah, the green bar goes back up. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, you all kind of gather, and you can, and all of you immediately can see that Willow Song is like paranoid as hell. Like she's like glancing around. She's like keeping an eye onto the sky, and she's looking down into Eveningstar as well, like trying to see if like there's anything going on.
Seeing this. Again, for flavor text, Azara's hair is like still braided up in a bun. I feel like over her normal clothes, she still has her like comfy robe on because it's so early in the morning.
Okay, yes, I love it.
So she like
put her like sexy wizard robe on, and then she has dressing gown over the top of it. I like it.
She's like, it's a little chilly out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's 2 in the morning. This isn't a good situation. She kind of like looks over at Willow Song and is like, "So what doom have you brought on us at whatever ungodly time of the morning this is?"
I've come to warn you of some danger, especially to Tarkhal. But I have had pursuers chase me, yes. But they won't just be coming for me. They'll be coming for Tarkhal, and I imagine, well, at least Agnis and yourself, Magister. Unfortunately, I don't think that my mother knows too much of Clyve just yet, or sees him as too much of a threat.
Still just rolling around like 10 feet away.
Okay, yeah, she probably says that last bit about like not thinking Clyve's a threat whilst he's rolled away and like whispers it. But she will look around and say, "Something has pursued me. Yes, I had to flee. I escaped, and things were sent after me."
So what you're saying is, now correct me if I'm wrong here, and Azara will put a hand to Tarkhal and be like, and apologies for being harsh. I don't tend to have a filter at this time. When I warned of your mother and you potentially bringing doom on us and Eveningstar, I was right, and the time has come, and now we're dealing with our consequences.
She kind of smiles, but it's a somewhat of a sneer. And she will say, "Your capacity for being right is most certainly correct, although I don't fear that that is really the concern at this time." And she'll look at Tarkhal. "I am sorry. I have lied to you considerably, not of everything, but of many things. But something has changed, and when my mother wanted to finish things and end your life, I could not sit by idly anymore. And so I felt I had to do something. She's locked me to this form. She has stolen my ability to return to my natural self. So I was limited in how I reached here. It's taken me some time. But she is glancing around the whole time. She says this, like clutching this single knife, which it does look quite ornate, but it doesn't look like it's the greatest weapon, and she doesn't look like she really knows how to use it. I don't know how much time we have, but if you have questions, I will do my best. But we shouldn't. I fear being out in the open. I'm concerned.
What is pursuing you? So we know what we're looking for.
One of my mother's assassins, one of my mother's creatures, possibly with others to aid it. My mother has many children, not just me. Some of them are abominations, things that she has created to suit her purposes. One of them is what one would call, we would call a half dragon. It bears draconic traits, but I believe some other humanoid creature raised as a sycophant to my mother's whims and wills. They are chasing me, and I suspect that they have companions, something to assist them in tracking me. But there may be others as well. My mother will not simply settle for trying to capture me. She wishes you, Tarkhal, and Agnis, and likely Azara, death as well. And I suspect that she will be happy to attack this town to do so.
But why? What has changed?
Yeah, Agnis, in contrast to Azara's like perfectly braided bun and like dressing gown, Agnis has just kind of like thrown on her stuff, and she's doing the Anna from Frozen, like lick the hand and try to smooth back the big hair, but it just bounces back like it's just all disheveled. She's like, "Yeah, why is she mad at us?"
And as this is happening, Azara's like, as we're asking questions, everyone to the courtyard. As much as I hate to admit it, the dragon, the girl is right, and we should go inside, and kind of ushers everybody in towards the walls.
I had this, I cracked up myself because I was imagining Clyve, the video game character, being when you're just like spinning a joystick idly, and he's just going around in a circle. Like,
yeah, important cutscene is happening, and you're just like, yeah, A. You're like mashing A to skip the dialogue. He's just like, yeah,
he's
pretty
the
much.
character that like broke the cutscene to where everyone's listening, and then one's just like walking
walks
around,
like right in front of the camera, like.
You just see him jumping in the background, like over and over and over again.
Yeah. Willow Song, as far as you know, she's called Willow Song. Yes, like looks at Azara and sort of nods when you agree with her that you should move into the courtyard, and you know, if you do so, you move back in, and like the gates are kind of pulled shut. Alyssa is just kind of like folding her arms, looking around. She will kind of call over some guards, like while you're having a conversation, she calls over a couple of guards and begins sending them to like the battlements and things like that. This is a very long story, but Eveningstar was never meant to be really anything more than a minor inconvenience. I was sent to investigate what you were doing, how you were progressing. Your your sudden increase in defenses, your sudden increase in prosperity, your sudden increase in political power changed things, as did my revelation to Tarkhal of my true nature. She was very, very displeased when she learnt of this. Fearing that her schemes could be unmade, she decided that it would be far easier to cut things off where they stand. She has planned a far greater scheme, one that I do not know all the answers to. And she looks at Azara when she says that. I am kept at the tip of a claw to many of my mother's plans, but I know that she has far-reaching, very ancient, old vengeances she wishes to seek out. Eveningstar was never meant to be one of them, but you are gaining traction. You are amassing power. You have crossed the wrong people, and unfortunately, this has put you in her crosshairs. I was meant to be a way to keep you out of too much trouble, to use you as pawns, to try and guide you into her schemes, and when she does, she glances at Tarkhal when she says this, but things have changed. I no longer wish to be involved.
I think Agnis is kind of smugly looking at Azara and smugly looking at Tarkhal and just kind of like, wow, so weird. Ulterior motives.
I know, Azara's doing the exact same. She's like, interesting.
Yeah. Never could have predicted that.
Yeah.
Spare me your feigned arrogance.
Spare you.
Spare you.
Dare you ask us to spare you anything?
You have almost crumbled this family down because of your feminine wiles and your scheming, which we all called from the beginning. Now, yes, we will fight your wretched mother.
And yet you still allowed me into your lives.
I didn't allow you anywhere.
Are we... I'm sorry. Are
we... Azara will look at Agnis. We do not have time for this. Apparently, we are being hunted down by some assassins, but later we shall have a conversation. And she looks at Tarkhal.
If it were not for me, Tarkhal would already be dead. And she says this like, I saved his life.
I know that you'd like to think that. However, we all
it is quite literal. It is quite literal.
I agree with Azara. Now is not the time.
Now is not the time.
The only person I am concerned for, and she looks at Tarkhal, I know you have a lot of questions. I want to answer them.
What are your mother's schemes? I don't...
She wants revenge against Cormyr.
For what?
That is a long story. A long time ago, she was one of the dragons that flew with Thalmaglaw against Cormyr. She ruled these lands. The King's Wood was once part of her domain. And then the Knights of Cormyr and the ancient kings came. They slaughtered many, many dragons. They drove Thalmaglaw. And she was forced into hiding, injured but alive. For hundreds of years, for centuries, she has plotted and waited for her vengeance, waiting to build up her children to use as pawns, seeding political machinations, agents within your noble society, people like Davian Cormoril. And now my only belief is that she seeks to undo what Cormyr is. She wishes to seek vengeance for her kind, my kind.
And then Azar will say, our kind. And if a descendant of Typhandrius can fight on the side of Cormyr, then you can get over yourselves.
Little sorcerer, you are not my kind. You may carry the blood of Typhandrius, but you are still elven. If my mother had not locked me to this form, I would show you what our kind is.
Yes, a dragon, I know. And Azara will just get so frustrated, she'll take a walk away and then come back and be like, nope, we're here, we're fighting. She's like...
Juicy hatred.
Azara wants to go on that rant of I've known before all of you, but she's like, we don't have time.
Yeah, of course.
Be professional.
Yeah.
Be professional.
Willow Song, does your mother have a weakness?
She's one of the oldest and greatest dragons. She is centuries old. Her magic is you've witnessed small portions of it. She's able to create sort of seedlings of herself that take on certain forms. She's able to bestow power to others. When she says that, by the way, Agnis, there is such an essence of guilt when she says she is able to bestow and bind others to her power. And she like looks away from Tarkhal when she says that.
Azara will see this and be like, "Oh, you mean the brooch? You mean
what? I don't know what. Let me check Azara's passive insight here because this is a passive insight thing.
Okay, because she did figure out with the poison mist.
Yeah, I just need to see if you pick up on the guilty look and stuff like that. Yeah. Let me just check because I know that Agnes's is pretty good because of her wisdom.
My passive perception is like
my passive perception
insight.
is 15. Oh, it's 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the same. Let's see. Okay, yeah, no, you would pick up on that, in fact, then. Yeah.
Then
In
Azara
fact, Agnis doesn't, but Azara does.
Then Azara,
because Agnis is only 14.
Still gloating, is like, "Oh, you mean the brooch that has given him his powers? Yes, we've seen this happen. And I know that the saving his life you're referring to is breaking him out of the stone. We all saw that happen. At least I saw that happen." And then she has to like take a break and walk away again and then come back. And she's like, calm down.
As clever as the little sorcerer thinks she is not entirely correct, no.
Agnis somehow finds a cup of tea and hands it to Azara.
Azara's like shaking, like sips it.
It sounds like your mother is unstoppable, and she was going to destroy Cormyr at her will.
She's not. My mother is a green dragon, as am I. Her power is not in raw strength, though she is mighty, as all dragons are, as we all are. It is through manipulation, it is through subterfuge, it is through magic that she commands her greatest power. She is not unstoppable, but I certainly don't know a way to beat her. But she will not openly strike Cormyr herself. She knows that the might of Cormyr, if all of Cormyr's knights were to march against her, she would die, just like Thormagor. She is not as powerful as the purple worm once was. Instead, I imagine she seeks to damage it from within, to weaken Cormyr first and then strike. Which means I believe that there is time to at least protect you. I don't care for Cormyr, Tarkhal. I care about you. And when she wanted to kill you, I knew I had to do something. I don't want you to die.
And I appreciate that Willow song, but
I know.
The time for now is just to survive. And as he says that, he takes the brooch off of his cape, tries to.
You try to, and it doesn't come off. I'm sorry about a lot of things. And she looks at the brooch. You're not bound to my mother, Tarkhal. You're bound to me. You swore your life to me, and we are now bound. And she pulls her dress down. Like, she's in her, like, elven's, very sort of, like, medieval green dress, long black hair. She pulls the dress down, and over her heart, you see basically the outline of the brooch, sort of like, almost like a kind of scar.
Frustratingly, Tarkhal will just like throw his hand down at his side.
I'm sorry.
Azara gives kind of a pointed look at Agnis, like, please have a talk with your brother later about making unbreakable bonds. And she's going to go off to a quiet corner of the courtyard and take off her waist cincher that has the Airdrie Fania like sigil on it and start praying, especially because Airdrie was talking to her about, she knows that she comes from Typhandrius and being power of the dragon, and just kind of pray for counsel of how to defeat dragon aspected creatures.
Okay. Are you using like any particular spell,
I'm
or is this
not.
just
I would love to do a religion check.
I mean, yeah, you can do a religion. I mean, religion check is mainly about the knowledge of religion.
Wait,
you can make a roll.
How often can I change cleric spells, and when can I do that?
Whenever you take a long rest.
Shit.
So, I mean, if you want to change one in, if you want to swap one in during that long rest that you just took, by all means, I don't mind. Just while you quickly change stuff, the only thing I think Willowsong will say to Tarkhal, like, when she kind of sees your hand sort of fall by your side, there's almost like a desperate way. She's like, my power is still yours. You still have it, and I will still grant it to you. I'm sorry. I know it was something of a deception, but I still meant everything I said. I want to see you succeed. I want you to be the man that I know you can be, and my magic is yours if you wish to use it. You still have, and she kind of like touches her heart, like where her heart in this scar is, and she kind of touches it. You still have, and then she kind of falls silent, and she sees that there's like that dejection there. Whilst Mica is like desperately like
I don't have what I thought I have, and
you're looking for like
augury is not good
communal
enough.
augury. Yeah.
Well, augury is like,
you can ask like, is it good or is it bad?
Yeah,
Or is it
yeah,
both?
like that's
look,
it.
It's both.
I would love communion, but like I don't have
Well, I mean, you can make a roll, but this is like you don't quite have divine intervention or anything yet, but you can make a roll. Make a religion roll.
I'll make a religion roll. Let's just make a religion roll. Let's just make a roll.
I don't know.
A dirty 21.
Dirty 21. What does this prayer look like? So you've taken off the cincture, you've got it then. Is there like a phrase? Are you speaking? Are you asking a question? Is there like a ritual to this? Like, what does this look
actually.
like?
She'll take off Azara will take off the belt, and I assume that she also like starts to keep little feathers on her. So she'll kind of pluck them off individually and fan them out over the belt. And she's done research on the dances that the winged elves used to do in prayer to Airdrie. And so she starts dancing and humming a traditional elven song and trying to commune with her goddess.
Okay. And what is the exact question you would like Fainry to aid you with?
The exact question is I think this is reaching, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Is there a power you, almighty goddess, could grant me to aid us in our quest to defeat this dragon who intends to harm our people?
So as you're dancing, you feel there's a gentle breeze that's blowing through the keep. It's a cold sort of spring, or I think it's autumnish. I think actually, if I remember the way I was doing the years, it's sort of like a sort of cool autumn wind. And as you dance, as each movement transitions, you almost feel the world slow around you. And as each limb brushes through the air, you hear faint whispers on it. You hear, already you carry a great weapon against my ancient enemy. Not in your hands, but in the hands of a great warrior. Wicked though its origins, a great aid, a great boon it shall prove against this mighty foe.
Azara will literally have that moment. And she'll stop dancing and she'll curtsy and she'll put her hands to her heart and say, thank you. And she'll put back on all of her gear and she'll run over to Clyve, who I'm assuming is still rolling on the ground.
Yeah, what's Clyve doing? Let's hear from Clyve.
At a certain point, like probably while that ritual is happening, Clyve would have like walked up out of breath, like, all right, well, out of my system. Look over at Willowsong. Who's that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I think Agnis, perceiving the tension between Willowsong and Tarkhal, and also like as Azara leaves, giving that meaningful look of like, you better talk to your brother, and as we've been fighting with his girlfriend, I'll look at him and the anger will kind of melt out of my face as I see how just destroyed he is. And I'll just kind of go stand by him and like put a hand on his shoulder and kind of stand with him facing Willowsong. Like, I am on your side.
Yeah. And, Willowsong is like, there is an essence of pride where she will look at you, Agnis, and she doesn't shirk away from like you kind of taking this defensive stance. She won't look at Tarkhal. But like she kind of like stands defiantly, not like in an aggressive, like she's challenging you way, but she won't wilt under sort of you kind of pressuring her. But like, yeah, like she won't look at Tarkhal.
And
she
I
sees
meet
you kind
her
of standing
gaze
next to
and
him.
I say, I know what it is to be born to a role that you find you don't believe in. And though I may not ever be able to forgive you for the harm you've done to my brother's heart, I see you and I will fight alongside you.
You do speak of things, there are complexities. But thank you, I suppose. I want to fix things. And she does sort of semi-glance at Tarkhal when she says that. But for now, we do have greater problems. She will look at Clyve at this point as well and just say, for now, I am a friend and I am an ally. Enemies are coming, warrior. And she kind of glances at your sword, Clyve, because she's seen Clyve's sword before. And that's at the point where Azara is just like, Clyve.
Yeah. I think Azara would come over around the time that she says, I want to fix things. And Azara she's still bitter. She'll kind of toss her hair. She's taking her hair out of the braids at this point. And she'll say, well, for a start, don't call me a lesser dragon. And she like stops her before she has a comeback. And she turns to Clyve and she says,
she doesn't try and come back. Like
good.
she actually just smirks in a really infuriating way.
She's the worst.
She's the worst. Azara notes that and is pissed. She turns to Clyve.
She's a real dragon. What do you
Yeah,
want?
I know, but she can go fuck herself. And Azara will tell that to her face.
I fucking love this. Oh, this is
I hate
joyous.
her. She turns to Clyve and she's like, Clyve, your sword, your dragon sword. Any creature that is any way associated with dragons, not on our side, take it down with your sword. It should help you. That's what it's meant to do, is to defeat dragons.
He'll take out the sword and be like, I did not know that.
I can't get over like video game character Clyve. So I pictured like the Animal Crossing, like I'm looking in my pockets thing.
I'm thinking.
And then like, yeah.
Holds it up like Zelda, like Link.
Yeah.
Little fanfare plays. Yeah, Willow Song will look and say, like, your sorceress is correct. That weapon is harmful to my kind.
And I see why holding it earlier, it hated me.
It senses the blood of Typhandrius in you.
Which again, if he can get over himself, so can your mother, but we shall put that aside for now.
You're both-
Well,
you're-
if Willow's, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You're both dragons?
She is, she has draconic blood.
Oh, that's
I-
fucking cool.
I am a dragon. Yes.
Okay, Miss I am a dragon. You're not special.
I did not
Kinda
claim to
points-
be.
He points the sword like, ooh.
Yeah, she reacts like she kind of pulls away from it, like it's like a bad smell or like a cold, like waving something really cold in front of somebody. She's just like,
How about that?
if it aids things, if you do wish to learn more of Typhandrius, I do know something. He is spoken of,
We will deal
but
with
not
that
now.
later.
I do
And
not.
she kind of
know-
like turns her back to Willow Song and
Yeah,
tries
sure.
to like make a circle with the four of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can easily do that.
She's like,
Uh,
now the friends are gonna talk, you bitch.
At this point, Alyssa runs over. Alyssa kind of looks. She's like, my lord and lady, Azara, Clyve. Unfortunately, a lot of our scouts and archers and the Tressim as well are currently out. We sent them to sort of scout the lands around to expand Eveningstar. We do still have some of my knights and the town militia with Baragon and Kaz. There's something out in the tree line. We don't know how many, we don't know what, but there is something out there. We'll need to engage them, but if there are any major threats, we will need to take care of them. The soldiers here, there are not enough for us to take on a full force. If there are any serious threats, we will need to fight them as we can.
Blade Captain, is there a plan for keeping the citizens safe? Shall we bring them into the keep?
We can. The walls are half constructed. We do have some defenses, and many of the buildings, some of the newer buildings, like the tavern, have been reinforced with new wood and stone. Those seem fairly defensible. If this is a small force, I don't think we need to bring them up into the keep. If this is a larger force, then I think we would be best. We need to make that decision now. It is a gamble, and I can't give you any answers. I don't know if this woman can. This our harbinger of bad news.
It's not worth the risk. Dusk. I assume he's up.
Yeah, he'll make his way over. Yeah, for sure. He's got one of those like Scrooge floppy nightcap hats and like a night robe, and he's holding a candle on like a little candle thing. And he's like, oh yes, my lady. What can I do? Is everything all right? I thought we were under attack.
Summon Aaron and tell him to make everyone aware there is danger outside the gates and that they should come to the keep or find someplace safe.
Very well, of course, my lady. I'll fetch him at once. Blade Captain, may I have an escort down into to fetch him? And Blade Captain's like, yes, of course. And she calls over two of my best knights, and she calls over to a dwarf male and a halfling woman. There we go. She calls them both over, and she's just like, escort Dusk down into the town. Make sure everyone knows to make their way to the keep or to get into the basement of the tavern. Secure it. Let the militia know what's going on, and they salute and they go off with Dusk and start coordinating there.
We just used our new town crier.
Yeah, absolutely. When they sort of head off, and there's like a few moments, like I don't know if you guys like, if there's anything more you want to say, or any plans, or any spells you want to cast, or anything like that. Because you have some time, like nothing is happening right now. So
Azara will turn to Willowsong and say, "Well, if we're assuming she's not leading us to our own death, only a few assassins are coming for us. We should meet them at the tree line and keep this fight as far away from Eveningstar as possible."
Agreed.
She's just like, something isn't quite right. She
What?
will send things to attack the town, but the things that were pursuing me, that half creature, that won't attack the city. And it's at that point that I think I need everybody to.
No, I was going to cast a spell.
Well, unfortunately, there is now, let's see. This would go for Willowsong in a humanoid form. So this is just off before a thing happens. You watch as a crossbow bolt from the guard towers above the main gate. You see a crossbow bolt. You just hear a and then Willowsong shudders back as a long crossbow bolt, like quite heavy, has embedded into her body. You see her wince, like she kind of like goes, and things. But Tarkhal, you feel that wound. Like when it goes into Willowsong, like you feel like you've been punctured by this crossbow bolt.
Tight.
Yeah. I found the secret, guys. I can't hit Tarkhal. So if I hit a creature that takes damage for him, I can do it this way, and he can't uncanny dodge it. It's genius. No, I'm joking.
I mean, that is genius.
It is.
It's
Diabolical.
genius,
Actually.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Absolutely.
Tarkhal.
Roll a 4, which is a 6.
Okay, so that is going to be 5 points of piercing damage that you feel, or I guess it would be psychic damage, and then 18 poison damage, Tarkhal. Wow. So you kind of like, and you see both Willowsong and Tarkhal react to this blow, and sort of like black, sort of like thick black draconic blood sort of coughs, like Willowsong coughs it. In fact, actually, no, she's immune. But like she kind of like shudders, but yeah, Tarkhal kind of like coughs and like blood comes out. And she looks is like, Tarkhal. At this point, let's roll initiative.
Does my brooch give me any sort of resistance to poison by
Not
any
yet.
chance? Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
But if you level up Warlock, maybe it will.
After Azara saw that happen, she's holding her tongue. She's been bitchy enough today. She's like, you know what? He knows.
I'm gonna give this. He looks like he's having a pretty rough time.
Yeah.
Maybe now's not the best time to
Yeah.
rub salt in the wound. The
now I
literal
Yeah.
wound.
His literal wound. She's also like, he knows this is his fault.
Sure.
Got 15.
Azara Mithras. Let's get that initiative.
15.
15. Tarkhal Crownsilver.
24.
Poor boy. 20.
Jesus.
Oh, geez.
I wasted my 20 on this.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Cheers.
Well, you're going to get the benefit of Assassin because you get advantage on anybody that's not active
That's
yet.
true.
So.
That is true.
Agnis.
14.
14. Clyve the Wildmane.
18.
18. We will say for the moment, like Alyssa, like was helping sort of organize the defenses, but if she might join you for other combats if we get through multiple combats. If you guys go on to our Roll20 page, there is a handout for Alyssa that gives you her basically her companion stats. She has like a unique stat block, and one of you can control her. I would say that like whoever wants to can run Alyssa basically. She'll just do what you guys want her to do, but she won't join you for this fight. Yeah, sure. Azara can run Alyssa as well. She only has one basic attack, and then she has a couple of special moves. And she doesn't have like hit points. She has like a unique health thing, but it's all in Roll20. She's not going to join you for this fight, but maybe if we have another one, she might join you for that one. All right.
Just in case.
Nice. Well, Tarkhal Crownsilver, you are the first to act. Right now, you've just seen a crossbow bolt. You don't know how many there are. You don't know where they are. You've seen a crossbow bolt come from the guard towers above the courtyard.
Okay, when we're in the courtyard, how far away is like the closest wall so I can gain some height?
You guys only just moved into the inside, so I'd say that like you're probably like 20 feet from the wall that the sort of battlements wall, and then that wall is probably a good sort of 20, I'd say 20 feet high, and then the guard tower goes another sort of like 10 feet above that, basically.
Okay.
So it's about the guard tower is about 30 feet high, and it's about 20 feet. You're currently 20 feet away from the wall that it's situated against. And you're in this big open courtyard, right? You've got like the barracks off to one side, maybe sort of like 50 feet away. The main entrance to the keep is like a good sort of like 100 feet, like to where you guys sleep and you have your rooms and things like that. But the barracks is a little bit closer. It's about 50 feet away. And then you've got the big gate that leads outside, and then these guard towers next to it.
Okay, I just want to try to scale the wall if I can, even if I guess it would require my movement and dash, right? Because I only have 30 movement speed.
Yeah, so you would move up to the wall, and climbing is half speed unless you have any magic that lets you just have a climbing speed or anything.
So yeah, that would take all 60 then, right? Because you said 20 and 20.
Yeah. Just give me the wall is just give me an athletics check, because you are going to need to like actually climb the wall. There's not like an immediate like ladder or access or anything like that. That's a little bit further away.
18.
18's enough, yeah.
All
so it does, it costs you your move and your dash, your bonus action dash, but you do manage to kind of like using Kiss of Silver and maybe like a spare knife in your boot, you kind of, and you kind of kip up. Maybe there's like some wooden parts sticking out of the wall, like posts that we used to build it. You kind of hop kip Assassin's Creed style, kind of like jumping from those. And yeah, you reach one of these two guard towers. Right or left do you want to go for?
I would. Well, do I have any sense of what part of Willow Song the crossbow went into? Like,
it came from one of these two towers. It came from above. You didn't see who shot it. You just know it came from up.
Well, do I see where it lay? Like, is it in her right shoulder or is it in her left?
Yes, but the way that you guys were stood, because you were all kind of like circled away from her. Again, it could have come from either side.
Okay.
Let's say if you want me to just roll, I'll just do a roll. It would be left side.
All right, then I think I would look towards the right tower.
Right tower, so you scramble up on the right hand side. Yeah, you reach the top, and there is kind of like a sort of 10-foot gap between the two. It'd probably be a 15-foot gap between the two towers. And do you want to make a perception check actually? Because this person is technically hidden.
18 plus perception 7, 25.
25. That is, just enough. This person was extremely well hidden.
Wow.
You guys were distracted having a conversation. With 25, you see kind of coiled black hood, black leather armor, but you can see patches of green scales and a tail kind of protruding, with a sort of light crossbow aimed, was looking down, but now turns their head. And you can see that half their face is that of a kind of quite handsome human male. The other half of their face is like covered in scales. One of their eyes is a yellow draconic eye. They have fangs coming out of their mouth, and you can actually see like some fluid kind of drooling down their draconic chin. And he just looks, and he's like, a guest of honor.
I'll call out and say, I've got one here. And then that's probably all I can do that turn. So.
Well, you still have your action, because if you bonus action to dash with cunning action, you still have your main action.
Yeah. So I want to attack this man with my Kiss of Silver. I want to embed it where his drool stain is.
Ew.
Sure.
Yep. 17, 25. 20. So 25 to hit, but do I get advantage? Right?
You do get advantage because you're acting before them in a turn of combat. Technically, yeah, the surprise round, but I won't count it for this.
Gotcha. Okay, well, it's 26 is my highest roll, not a crit.
That hits. Yeah, that
But it is a
easily
crit.
hits this guy. Yep.
Okay. So total damage is 23.
23 points of damage. The other thing is, if that's okay with you, Tarkhal, I forgot to add his sneak attack damage to the attack that hit.
Yep.
So I'm just going to apply that to you if that's okay.
If
That's 11 points. If that's okay. Well, I want to check because I am technically like retconning saying, but it's another 11 points of psychic damage that you took.
Okay, and then I will activate my brooch to do 4 poison damage if it affects him at all.
It does is halved. He has resistance to poison. I'm afraid that little traitor's magic won't aid you against me, boy. And he kind of like turns to you. You done?
I'm done.
All right. He now looks over and he kind of slings the crossbow. He has it on like a leather strap. He just throws it back. And from his back, he draws 2 serrated short swords. And he just leaps across the gap, like from one tower to the other. He sort of leaps, digs one of the short swords in to swing himself into. You're now kind of having this like duel inside this little tower moment. And he's going to swipe at you twice. Bam, bam. So that's going to be an 18 to hit on the first one.
That one hits.
So that's going to be, and I need a Constitution saving throw, 6 points of damage, piercing, and then Constitution saving throw, please.
Con save was 16.
16 is just enough. So this is going to be half damage as poison kind of coating the blade. So it'd be 19. That goes down to half, which is going to be 9. So 9 poison damage. Then he swipes at you with the second short sword. Doesn't have advantage, so he's not getting sneak attack on these. That's a 20 to hit, dirty 20, not natural.
I cast Uncanny Dodge.
Do you want to uncanny dodge the short sword attack, or do you want to try and do it against the poison? It's going to be another con save.
Yeah,
okay.
if I can, yeah.
4 piercing damage from the other short sword, and then another con save, please.
Okay. 18 plus 2, so 20.
20 points. So that's going to be half damage again, because you passed the saving throw. So that would normally be 26. We're going to half it to 13.
And then does Uncanny Dodge have that again?
I think so. I'm not going to check. I don't know if Uncanny Dodge works against like Constitution saving throws. I'm just going to say it does. So that would be halved again to 6.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I think so as well. And then finally, as his bonus action, he sucks in and he breathes poison, filling the tower. And you watch, for the rest of you, by the way, this tower becomes obscured. It's like a fog cloud fills it as this green, thick mist completely engulfs it. That's another Constitution saving throw, please, Tarkhal.
That's a 9 plus 2, so 11.
Okay, that just passes on his breath weapon, so it is going to be half damage.
Okay.
So that would be 30, half to 15. So you watch as like this guy kind of comes in, and you can see his blades are like slick with this like poisonous ichor, and then he fills the entire top of this watchtower with poison. Those of you on the ground, when he was stabbing Tarkhal, you do see that the stab wounds, like Willow Song is reacting, like she's being stabbed at the same time as Tarkhal as well, and she's like clutching. You can see she's getting furious. Clyve of the Wildmane.
Yes. So
it is your turn, sir.
A lot happened that turn, and I didn't catch a lot of it. So, Clyve, sorry, Clyve. Tarkhal's like up there, right?
Yes. So you watched a crossbow bolt came from up above. That seemed to happen. Tarkhal ran up to the wall. He scrambled up. He threw his knife at something. You haven't seen what he's attacking yet, but he said that there's something up there. And then you saw a figure jump across to the same tower that Tarkhal is now in, and then it became filled with green mist, like green thick fog.
Okay. How far is this mysterious figure?
The tower, so it's 20 feet along the ground to the tower, and then they are 30 feet up inside the tower. So it's 30 feet diagonally, or 20 feet, and then 30 up.
Okay, so I'm gonna rage.
Let's get that wild magic.
I always forget where is easily accessible on.
I find the easiest way to do it is to go to like the barbarian page and then find the subclass, and then it's on there, I think. That's just fastest for me. Like, I'm sure on your character sheet it's probably quicker, but I find it super quick on D&D Beyond just to do the barbarian page.
Yeah. I got it. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Wait, no, that's the wrong one.
I've got it. If you want to roll now, and then whilst other people take their turn, I can find it. I've got it here, so I can just tell you what the effect is.
Okay.
And then you find it on whilst everyone else is doing stuff.
Okay. So let's see. First and foremost. Oh wait, no, I have it here. All right. Sorry. Rage. 7. Flowers and vines. So difficult.
Temporarily grow out of you until your rage ends. The ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain. So as long as this is in effect, you have 15 foot of difficult terrain around you. For your enemies, not your allies.
Yep. Okay. Well, that doesn't do much. So when I'm looking at my inventory, or not inventory, my weapons, there are 2 numbers for range. Is the second
the first one is the range where you don't have any penalty. If it's in the second range, you're at disadvantage for it. So if you're like throwing a javelin, I think it's like a range of 30 feet and then a range of 60 feet. If you're throwing it anything over 30 feet, you have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
It's the long range.
So I am absolutely going to throw a javelin, and the secondary is 120. So
okay, yeah. So what's the first range is 30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 30 feet diagonally, you can strike there. Now, the person is obscured, so you're going to have disadvantage anyway because you can't quite see them. It's like him and Tarkhal or this figure and Tarkhal are in this mist somewhere. You think you know where he is, but you do have disadvantage on the attack roll just because he is obscured.
All right, I still feel good about it. Let's see.
Sure, yeah. I mean, Clyve's pretty good. Clyve's a great warrior.
I knew I would crit on disadvantage. That's still a 17.
That's still going to hit. So, yeah, you kind of like wait, you kind of sense for a moment, you hear like the clash of steel, and you're like, that doesn't sound like Tarkhal. You lob this javelin, hoping you're right.
And that is going to be 7 piercing.
7 points of piercing damage. Yeah, Tarkhal, you see there is like a flash of something, and in this mist, because at the same time, you're both sort of like flighting blind now. You see like a flash, and you hear this kind of figure like grunt as they're hit by something.
I imagine Clyve just like has it. He's like,
yeah.
And it hits
Anything
something, and I'm like, Tarkhal!
Amazing.
Was that you?
No, you didn't hit me.
Oh, all right, great. Well, that's it then.
Okay, done?
Yep, done.
All right, nice. As you throw the javelin, Clyve, Agnis, you pick up on these. This is why they don't get surprise round, because you see these guys coming in, gliding down from the clouds, not flying but gliding. You would look at these and think almost like they're dragonborn, but they seem far more bestial than dragonborn do, with these kind of like very short stubby wings, but with membranes that allow them to glide down towards you and Agnis. These figures literally like fly in, targeting you and Agnis with daggers in each hand, and they land with sort of like a thump against the ground. They run Naruto run style with their daggers behind them, and then they're gonna both of them make 2 attacks against you and Agnis. Azara. So this is 2 attacks against Agnis. Let's see what we get here. 18 to hit Agnis.
That will hit.
Okay, you're going to take some piercing damage and poison damage. 4 points of piercing, and then 6 points of poison damage. So if you have any poison resistance, obviously. And then their second attack. Another 18 to hit. So we are going to take another 4 points of piercing and 8 points of poison damage.
So 22 total.
So yeah, 12. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 12, 24. I can't remember. What did I say? Where's my
I think it was 6 and 4 to begin with, and then.
Yes, you're right. 4 and 6,
4.
and then 8 and 4. Yeah, so 22. You are correct. Thank you.
I was trying to see if there was anything that can deal with poison, but I don't think
you have resistance to it just yet.
No.
Cool. And then Azara, one literally lands and runs up to you and is going to do the same thing, having literally glided down onto the ground. They rush towards you. Yeah, these guys mean business. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, yeah. 5 points of piercing, and then 7 points of poison, and then he swipes at you again. Yeah. Dirty 20. So that's going to be a hit. I'm rolling very well. 5 more points of piercing, and 9 points of poison. So pretty brutal as they kind of slicing and dicing as they do so.
Not a fan of that.
Kill them while the others attack. They kind of like guttural whispering. And these figures, yeah, like I said, you would almost mistake them for Dragonborn initially. Very quickly realize that these are more bestial, more draconic in nature than Dragonborn are. Yes, question.
That's ruined Azara's morning more than it already has. So she's already going to Wrath of the Storm. The dude that hit her. So that is a DC 13 Dex throw.
Okay. These guys seem pretty nimble and agile, but I might roll badly. I did. That's a 9. 4 plus 5. So fails.
That is 2d8. That is 8 plus 3. So 11 points of lightning damage. It's okay.
So gets blasted by this kind of, surge of lightning that erupts from you as you begin to crackle with etheric kind of, the atmosphere around you beginning to sizzle and burnt ozone smell, taking over. Yeah, perfect. Well, it's your turn, Azara, after those two.
Oh, that's convenient.
So you kind of blast in with this reactionary lightning and then, immediately your turn. So your reaction comes back as well.
That's lovely. I'm going to use 2 sorcerer points. And I'm going to hasten my spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast question.
Yes.
Summon Elemental Spirit is a concentration. And Spiritual Weapon is not.
Yeah.
I can have both, hypothetically. I mean, I can't cast both in this round, but I can have both eventually.
You can have both active, yes. You can have both active, because as long as the Spiritual Weapon is in concentration, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you can't cast both at the same time.
Love that for me. So I'm going to summon my Elemental Spirit currently at 5th level.
Okay.
And Azara would know, knowing magic and dragons, is there poison doesn't have any immunity or resistance to elements, does it?
Poison doesn't have any immunities to element. I'm not sure what you're... Are you asking?
Like a poison... If I was fighting a poison dragon, other than poison resistance, like if it was like a fire spirit, it wouldn't be resistant.
As far as you know, yeah, maybe.
Okay. Then she's going to summon a fire spirit.
Okay.
Actually, no. Fire is Agnes's thing. She's going to summon...
lightning.
I wish. That would be a really cool spirit. Let's do a water spirit. Why not?
Okay.
Let's cleanse the earth. So we're going to summon a water spirit. So it's a giant water dragon.
Cool.
And then I'm going to... He's within melee distance, right?
He is like next to you, yes.
Next to me?
Like,
then
he
I'm
is,
going
like,
to...
He is melee range for you, and then there's one within melee range of Agnis.
Perfection. I'm going to shocking grasp him then.
Okay.
That's a cantrip.
Yes.
So that's 23 to hit.
That does hit.
Yay. And that's 3d8 plus 3. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of lightning damage.
And he cannot take reactions. So yeah, you reach out, plant like a hand against his chest. You watch as lightning kind of arcs all over.
And then my elemental spirit gets to go.
Okay.
And he is going to take his slam attack with his little water claw. And that is plus 9 to hit.
That's your spell attack.
17. Does 17 hit?
Just about hits, yep.
Sweet.
This watery claw of force just smashes into the side of this thing.
1d10. 11 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah, bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, it doesn't have any problems. Yeah, that affects it normally. So yeah, you watch as like maybe some of its ribs, you can hear sort of like scales break and spines snap, ribs break as this giant water claw slams into the side of it, like for the mistress, fight until the end. End of turn?
Yeah, I think that my water elemental will kind of position itself in front of me.
Just trying to protect you.
Yeah,
it can't get in front. It can't get between you and the enemy, but it can be next to you. So it's like trying to guard you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Agnis.
All right. I'm sorry to do this, but I
conjure woodland beings.
Yes, you know me so well. This is actually going to be,
as long as you've got the stats and you track all this stuff, like their hit points and everything else, like it's fine. You can cast it. Just don't make me do it.
Well, do you want it to be done like?
I just have them go after your turn. Well, what are you summoning? Let's ask that question first. What are you summoning and how many?
8 giant owls.
8 giant owls. Okay. All right. Okay.
And I will send you the stat block. I'll keep track of it, but just so you know.
Yeah, I don't need the stat block. I can look it up. It's fine.
And I'm thinking I would like to send 4 of them flying toward Tarkhal, toward the tower, and keep 4 of them down with me. So I think maybe the easy way is to treat each group as one. Yeah,
that's 100% the easiest way of doing it.
Okay.
So they'll stay 12 AC. Let's group them up as one creature. So 4 times 19. What's 4 times 19?
36?
36.
Wait, no, not at all.
I was going to say,
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
No, 76.
So each of these groups, let's give it a collective pool of 76 hit points.
Okay.
And then its attacks, because they're each going to be +3 to hit, or say it can make 3 attacks rather than, well, I guess it would just make 4 attacks. Yeah, just as normal. We'll just have it do that then. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, so you've got one group flying up to Tarkhal. Now, keep in mind that there is this green fog that completely fills the guard tower where he is fighting this assassin figure. And then the 4 are going to surround you as well. Like, so you have 4 kind of next to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just for flavor, these are like fey fire creatures.
Owls.
Yeah, so they kind of owls. Like every flip of their wings that like little sparks fly off of it.
Yeah, love it. We'll have these guys go just after you. We'll just have them take their initiative after you. All right.
But that was my action this time.
Oh, right, that was your action. So cool.
So they would go now, right?
They would go now.
Okay. So the ones in the tower roll a 20 to hit, an 18 to hit, a 23 to hit. That's a crit.
Okay, keep the crit separate. But that's
and an 8 to hit.
All right, last one doesn't hit, so we'll do 2 normal hits.
And a crit.
And they do what? 2d6 plus 1 damage. So yeah, do 2 of those to start with.
So 7 for the first owl.
7. Oh, each of those attacks should have had disadvantage because this fog is like obscuring the area. So even if they kind of move into it.
Let's make that the bottom group then. So that we can do the other one.
So the first one was like, yeah, because we can group them into attacks. So like the first attack was like 2 high numbers. So we know that one hit. The second one was the 20 and then the lower one.
No, what I'm saying is, there's 2 groups of 4 owls. So I was rolling for the ones in the tower, but we can just roll for the ones on the ground.
Dude, that's exactly, you're right. 100% that's the smart way of doing it. Let's do those. So these guys are hitting the one that's attacking you.
Right.
Bam.
So there's
got it.
2 hits, 1 crit.
Yep.
So I'm going to re-roll because I don't remember what I said.
No,
so the
thanks,
first
Ryan.
hit
Sorry for confusing
is 9.
All right, 9 points.
The second owl does
So
11.
These owls are just surrounding this attacker and you and just like love it. That's a cool image.
So the second one was 11. And
Got
then
that.
the crit will be 16.
16 points. This thing this is nearly torn to shreds. You can see that this figure, this draconic creature that is attacking you is like torn to shreds by these talons. Barely hanging on, bleeding, and you can see its blood as it hits the ground. There is like a sizzling, and it looks rough. It looks really bad.
And I'm just standing back proudly observing my owls.
Watching your owls
do their job.
Sure. All right, so now let's do the ones in the tower, and these have disadvantage.
So that would be either, that one was a 10.
Miss.
That one definitely misses. I rolled a 1.
Second attack.
That one is also a 10. These owls suck.
I mean, the first owls did very well.
And that one is also a 10. These owls do not, they're trying their best.
The green fog that is filling it, like they're diving in, trying to like swipe at stuff in there. Whatever is inside is moving very agilely, very nimbly. It's using the cover. Yeah, they just can't quite manage to strike. Okay. Everything on your turn done?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a look here. So Willowsong is the last person to go. She will see your kind of owls tearing this figure apart, but she can see that it's next to you, still threatening you. And she will come up just with that sort of like curved Chris dagger in her hand, and she will try and stab this thing in the back while it's fighting off these owls. In fact, actually, what she'll do first, because she gets multiple attacks, she'll move over to you, Agnis, and basically try and push you away from this thing. She's like, they're draconians. Don't stand near them when they die. And she will try and push you away. I don't know if you want to try and stop her.
No, I would love to move away.
Yeah, so she pushes you 5 feet back. She's going to take the shove action to like basically yank you away, right. and then she steps in and swipes at it with a dagger, basically. And that is going to be, unfortunately, that's a natural 1, so she misses. She's 1 attack for that, 1 attack for that, and then she does get a 3rd attack. And then that's going to be 20 odd to hit. It's only a D4. She does have +6 to this. So that's 7 points of damage. So she swipes, and you can see that the owls did all the work here. Willowsong is absolutely just stealing the kill. But as she swipes across its chest, you watch as this thing basically bursts into a spray of acid around it when it dies. It turns into like this leaking puddle that spreads out, and each creature within 5 feet. So I will need Anna to come back because of her owls. But yeah, she kind of like throws Agnes back as she does this and swipes across as this thing erupts into acid. Everybody have a think. Tarkhal, you're going to be going next. You're the very next person up. You are currently in this green foggy mist. You can't quite see this opponent. You don't know 100% where they are. They are obscured as the fog fills the air.
I can't see like a silhouette with how close I am.
You can see a silhouette. You have enough to attack. You just have disadvantage. Like it's that the thing of like you know where they are, but the mist is like making it hard to like precisely position your attacks and things like that.
So if my thoughts were wanting to cast a spell on a creature I can see within range, I can't see that creature.
You can't see that creature. No.
Okay.
It would defy those rules, I'm afraid.
Okay.
You might as well just take your turn, and then we'll jump back to Anna. Acid owls.
My question is
now if you want to try something to try and like clear the fog or like grab this guy and like get close enough that you can see them, you could try something like that if you wanted to. It's just that if you're just kind of trying to take the standard attacks or actions, you can't currently see them.
No, I think it's too dangerous with how literally much I'm bleeding out right now.
You are pretty injured.
Yeah, pretty close to death. So don't I get advantage when I move before an opponent, or is that just the starting round?
Only the first turn. That's it's the first turn of combat, unfortunately.
Never mind. Because am I considered hidden? He can't see me, right?
So that's the other thing, right? Is as far as you know, he doesn't know where you are either.
Okay. So then wouldn't that give me advantage when I attack from hiding?
You tell me.
I mean, that's my
if that's what you think, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. So I think that if I can somewhat see the silhouette,
I'm going to unfortunately tell you he does know where you are. But he has some supernatural sense. Yeah. So you are unfortunately just at disadvantage.
That's fine. I will still try I'll try to hit him with my Kiss of Silver. I'm going to toss it to his silhouette, what I think. So that's a 14 plus 8 is 22. And then a 9 plus 8 is 17.
I mean, that still hits, even on the disadvantage. No sneak attack, unfortunately, because you are at disadvantage, but the normal hit.
Okay, so just 6 piercing damage. Then 4 poison, but 2.
2 because it's thing. Yep.
Halved.
So you definitely strike him, and you can now, like, there's that even though this kind of like this green fog is filling the air, you do. Maybe not here, but you see like a spray of like blood, and you do kind of get the sense that this person's definitely been properly cut by your Kiss of Silver.
Okay, and then I would like to. I'm obviously not within melee range because I chucked that pretty hard, and there's some distance between us. I'm assuming.
I mean, you had disadvantage anyway. Maybe you are right next to him. You wouldn't know.
don't like that. Well, I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage.
There you go.
And slide down. I want to try to just slide down the wall so I can kind of hug it.
Ooh.
Because I'm like
acrobatics check. I love that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm literally bleeding out and I need some space between us. That's
one.
a 9 plus 4, 13.
Oh, okay. Your acrobatics is only +4?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know.
9 plus 4. Yeah, you're going to take some falling damage. Not as much. You're gonna reduce it by d6, but you're going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damages. Yeah, you try and slide down the wall. You kind of like hop over the side, disengaging. You do slide a bit of the distance, but your injuries like cause you to buckle, and it causes your landing to be rougher than expected, and you do kind of hit the ground in a lump, and are knocked prone.
Okay, that's my.
You are visible to your allies. So your friends can now see you at least.
Mm-hmm. I'll call out as I hit the ground. I could use some help over here, and that's it.
Okay. All right. We're still, unfortunately, are going to have to go back. Remind me about the owls and the acid, because I do need to remember it. You basically, Tarkhal, as you kind of land, you're prone on the ground, you're like reaching out to your friends. You look up and you see this figure look down, and you see like the kind of draconic mouth kind of curl up into a sneer. And he's just like, you've made it too easy. He pulls the crossbow and he's going to shoot you while you're on the ground below him.
I didn't expect to get knocked prone.
All right. Anna's back in a minute. We'll just do that. But yeah, he is just going to lean over and take one deadly looking shot with this crossbow at you on prone on the ground. And that is a dirty 20. That's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
So let's do the sneak attack and the...
I uncanny dodge the sneak attack, even though I'm pretty sure I'm dead now.
Yeah. So that's going to be... So this is the physical damage would be 18. So you can half that to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Constitution saving throw for the poison.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. That's a 19, so 21.
19, so you're going to take half damage. So this is half damage on the poison damage. 27 halved would be 13.
I am unconscious.
So you guys all turn and you see Tarkhal, like he tries to slide down this tower. He kind of, his injuries cause him to fail and like land prone. And then he's like trying to like crawl and pull himself up, like reaching out, like I need some help. And then you just watch as a crossbow bolt thuds into his back and he just goes silent. He just on the ground. Willow Song like screams, like there is this like no, and it's like this draconic fury that just erupts from her. Anna, what you missed just when you had to duck away, by the way. So Willow Song pushed you out of the way, stepped in, sliced this thing across the belly. It was so injured from the owls it died, but then it erupted into like a pool or burst of acid. It kind of like coats Willow Song, like she kind of holds her hands up and stuff like that. But the owls all need to make a dexterity saving throw as they are splashed with acid.
What is their dex? It's +2. Okay.
So
first one is a nat 20. These owls are the dope ones down at the bottom.
These owls are amazing.
Yeah. This one gets a 7. Ooh. Those I'm gonna call it a cock die. Okay. It was a 2.
I trust you.
I'm gonna call it.
Sure.
Okay. 12.
Just passes. Yeah, it's DC 12, so.
And this one's 6.
So that one fails. So we had, was that 3 successes and then 1 failure?
2 success, 2 fail.
2 success, 2 fail. Those 2 are covered in acid and it is beginning to burn away at their spiritual forms. At the start of their turn, they're going to take damage unless a creature spends an action to like get it off them, basically. Or they spend an action to get it off themselves. However, cutting back to in the moment, we watch as this like dragon, like this assassin fires this crossbow. Tarkhal goes down. Willow Song screams out. And then
I have a slight question.
Yes.
When this lizard dragon man assassin walks over to shoot me with a crossbow, do the owls?
He like leans out of the tower. Like,
so he doesn't. Oh, he just has to lean. He doesn't have to do anything else. Okay.
He just leans out. He just like leans out and aims down with advantage.
You have a cleric on your team. You're fine.
It's fine. You're fine.
I wanted to see if the owls can get an opportunity attack. I wasn't sure if he had to take a step or not.
I will say that no, he doesn't quite. Yeah, he doesn't leave their threat. And then he will disappear into the fog. He just like fades back in. Clyve of the Wildmane.
Yes.
Hello, it is your turn, sir. There is currently one of these draconian-looking fellows attacking Azara, but there is a giant water creature next to Azara, and they seem to have that pretty handily covered. You can see lots of flaming birds are attacking things, including the tower up above.
So mentally, he's just like, this is awesome. How many or what enemies are within 10 feet of me?
The one attacking Azara, because you guys were kind of clustered together. So the creature attacking Azara is right there.
And how's he looking?
Oh, he looks bad. Oh, he's bad. The water spirit broke his ribs. Azara blasted his chest with lightning. Like, he looks rough.
Okay. Then I'm gonna swing at it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it recklessly.
Okay. I love it. Love to see it.
Advantage. Okay, that is 20 something math.
That hits. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure this guy's dead.
All right.
As a point, Clyve, when you hit this creature, deal an extra D8 of damage.
Ooh.
If you're using the Ebon Scorn sword.
Well, now that you say that, I might use something. No.
Sure, yeah, okay.
I'm going to use
Ebon Scorn.
All right, so let's see. Oh, wait, so it's a D. So it's 2d8 plus 8.
Yes,
All right.
because you've got your shield in one hand now and you're using the sword one-handed, so.
And so that would be. Wait, I just spaced out.
So you just roll a custom D8, so you can just add an extra D8 on for free, and then we'll add another 3. So you currently have 8, plus 3 would be 11, so then just roll a D8, and that'll be damage.
Oh, I rolled on D&D Beyond. I meant to roll acoustic.
Oh, you can roll acoustic. Yeah, go nuts. Roll acoustic.
I don't know why, but it was 10. The total was 10 plus 8, 18.
18. You cleave this thing in two, and as Ebon Scorn cuts through its flesh like a hot knife through butter, acid erupts out, covering you, Azara, and the water spirit. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Do I see this dexterity this effect coming at me?
You do, yes.
Then
you have
advantage.
Danger sense. Danger sense.
Danger sense.
I just watched it do it to Agnis. Danger sense.
Danger sense.
18.
18's a success.
15 for me.
Okay.
And then 7 for my water spirit.
The water spirit is covered in acid.
Wait, is it? Hold on.
You tell me.
It's resistant to acid, water only.
Right. So it's resistant. It will still take some damage, but it is resistant. But it is, you can see like it kind of mixed into its watery form is this putrid black acid now.
Eluding it.
Yeah, Clyve, you just killed it. You still have move and another attack, but I don't necessarily think anything is going to be within movement range of you.
Can I start making my way to
You can start climbing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's at the base of this tower, so he's like 20 feet away from you. Easy.
Tarkhal! I'm coming, lad! Rolling.
Roll. You get next to him. End turn.
Realizing I've approached a situation that I cannot help, I just kind of...
Sure. Look around. Not sure what's going on. Azara, then Agnis.
Yeah. Azara, now with the dragon dealt with, will turn to her friends and cast Prayer of Healing. Up to 6 creatures. Does that include the owls?
Prayer of Healing, unfortunately, is like, I think, a 10-minute cast because it's like an out-of-combat heal.
You're right. I don't like that.
I'm sorry to disappoint you. Yeah, Mass Cure Wounds and Mass Healing Word are the combat versions.
You've absolutely...
I've ruined your day.
Ruined my day.
Rules?
I don't like that.
D&D isn't about rules. It's about being cool.
I need to fix that later. Then I'm going to...
it's good out of combat. Like, if you don't want to, like, take a short rest, it's, like, a nice way to, like, get a bunch of HP back. But
that would have been really smart for me to look at before I
it's not.
But I'll change that later. Right now...
I am basically Jeremy from Crawford, and I'm ruining the game by telling you the rules.
Isn't that a thing I can do?
Yeah, you can just click the spell on D&D Beyond, and it will cast it for you.
No. Quicken. Is that... Quicken spell. When you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1, no, I can make it 1 bonus action.
And I think it's a spell that is up to a minute. I think you can make 1 action.
Yeah, when it has the casting time of 1 action.
There you go.
Heck. Okay,
That'd be very good.
That would be very good. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to quicken a spell.
Yes.
And then I'm going to use my movement to get over to Tarkhal.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast my cantrip, Spare the Dying.
Okay. Tarkhal is no longer making death saving throws. He is stabilized at 0 hit points.
Yes.
Huzzah.
So I'm going to place my hand chastely on his forehead. I think Azara would be like, and then pick up here. And then, so hypothetically, kind of if Azara wanted to Kobe a fireball.
Yes.
Up there.
Yeah.
Would you let me?
I mean, yeah, it's within the range of the spell. Like,
it is
100%.
150 feet.
Yeah,
Cool.
of course. Yeah, of course you can.
So
You don't
whatever.
need to, you can arc it. Yeah. If your question is, can I arc it?
Can
yeah, of
I
course
arc
you
it?
can.
So whatever the Eveningstar equivalent is of Kobe is, Azara will shout that.
I think that's up to Azara. I think Azara gets to decide that right now.
I don't. Is there like a stoling champion?
I think
Not
that's
yet.
for you to decide.
That's true. Not yet. We'll think about that. We'll have a think about that later. To be determined. And then I'm going to cast Fireball at the 3rd level.
Okay.
So that's a Dex 14.
Dex 14. That is a 15, and the figure inside the fog has evasion. So he takes no damage on a successful dexterity saving throw. But what does happen? What does happen? The fire owls, technically they would be affected by the fireball. But
What?
Well, they are only fire by aesthetic. They are still just summoned owls, I'm afraid. So
I thought they were fire owls. I'm so sorry.
They're fey creatures. They'll just go home.
They'll just go home, yeah. But if I can get some dex saves from Anna on these owls,
That's why I was like, oh, Fireball, they'll be fine.
I love it. But I mean, this is D&D, right? I will say though, the benefit of the fireball, all that fog burns away, and I will say that it ruins this guy's stealth check. He can't stay stealth when you've just nuked like the top of the watchtower. The wooden roof of the watchtower is now on fire as well, and like there's wooden splinters. There's like an explosion. Like
I'll pay to fix that later.
Sure.
What's the
Anna.
spell save DC?
14.
One of them passes.
So he's going to take half damage, and then the rest of the owls take the full amount.
Oof, I'm so sorry. I don't even have this.
I'm
sorry, I'm just going to roll it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, sure. These guys have 19 hit points.
I rolled 32.
Right.
Well, no.
One of them's still alive.
He's with 3 hit points left. There's one owl who's like, ooh.
I'm so
But
sorry.
you just watch this like...
One brave coral is still flapping those fiery wings.
But you see the green fog burns away. And while the figure did manage to like avoid the damage, probably by like hopping over the side and like using the wall as cover, they then sort of like flip themselves back in. They're completely revealed. They're no longer stealthed and hidden. You can all see them up above, basically. But yeah, anything else? So quicken, spare the dying, and then quicken fireball, and then spare the dying.
Now it's my watery boy's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Can he climb? He's water. He can't fly.
He can, but it will be at half movement, and technically has to make an athletics check.
Why not? He has nothing else to do.
Sure.
So his speed is 40 feet.
Okay.
So he can only go up 20 feet, so he can get to the top of the ramparts.
If he dashes, he'll have to use the action to dash, but he can in theory climb up. What's his strength?
18, so plus 4.
I'll just say that he can do it. I think that strength of 18, like it's slow going, but because it's spending its full turn, like move and then dash action, it basically just like
gets up there and just
gets to the top of the tower.
Stands in front of the dude, like
it's like
grunting.
filling the space. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Agnis, I know you have your own flame beast there to deal with.
Yes.
Flame beast.
This flame beast is very cranky right now. She's just
watched all those owls die.
Yep, she's going to be held.
Sorry, Nizki.
She's just going to be held. I am going to take out my cool crossbow thingy.
Longbow.
longbow thingy.
Sure.
And
what's the name of this cool longbow? Does it have a name?
Galather the Guiding Light. Excuse me.
There we go.
I'm going to take out Galather the Guiding Light.
I just
Mark is like,
no,
I
got my
wrote
cool
this,
bow.
you know? Like, let's acknowledge the name I
There's a
came
little
up
bit of
with.
that. There's a little bit of like,
I'm sorry.
I gave it a really cool name.
It's a very cool thingy, okay? I have a question. With Path
Sure.
of the Moonlight Shot,
Oh.
I can create a bridge. I can create, whatever.
Yes.
Can it, if it were an incline, could we climb it?
Yes, you can. It's exactly what it's designed for. This
That's
kind of shit.
cool.
Really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot with Galather the Guiding Light using Path of the Moonlight Shot, which will make a 5 foot, 90 foot long incline up to the tower and hopefully hit our enemy.
Yeah, let me just check one thing on this because it's been a while since I made this item, so I just want to check something on its rules. Because I love rules, guys. I know this is a surprise because I use them to ruin your day all the time.
I mean,
So yeah, you don't actually make an attack. You use your action to create the bridge,
okay.
and that's the action to do it. But
okay.
yeah, you join the 2 points of light. Any creature, so friendly creatures basically double their movement along the surface of the bridge as well. So you move twice as fast when you're moving on the bridge. But yeah, you basically point this up into the upper parts of the tower, and you create this long silvery light. So when you pull the bow back, 'cause this doesn't have normal arrows. When you pull the bowstring back, it forms an arrow of light, and when you fire it, the arrow immediately becomes like a crescent moon, and then as it passes through the air, it leaves behind this silvery road that basically makes its way all the way to the top of the watchtower and then beyond.
I point it at it to Clyve. I'm like, Clyve,
Go.
Clyve, climb.
Sure. And then owls.
My owls go. So I have 2 poisoned ones and 2 fine ones on the ground.
Yes. So the 2 acid ones take.
Never mind.
The 2 acid ones take 11 acid damage, and then they can use an action to basically get the acid off if you want them to. Otherwise, they're going to take 2d6 acid damage each turn.
Yeah, they'll take their action to get the acid off.
Okay, so 2 are just going to basically wipe all the acid off. You've got 1 up in the tower and then 2 on the ground.
Right, and there's no more threats on the ground.
No, yeah, they're all dead.
So the 2 other owls will fly up to the tower.
Sure.
I think they can make it all the way up there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, owls have got a crazy good fly speed. Yeah, 100% they can.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 60 feet.
Cool.
And then all
go
3
owls.
owls are gonna try and avenge Tarkhal.
Yeah, love it. Swipe.
They will roll
Normal attack, no advantage, no disadvantage on this, I believe.
14, critical
Miss.
fail, and 11.
Owls. This fighter, the ones on the ground clearly weren't trained for really detailed combat. This half dragon is ducking and dodging and wiving, using his blades to fend off these owls, seemingly unfazed by them, unfortunately.
Okay.
But there is now a clear path for Clyve, especially, to get his way up to this tower. End of turn, Agnis. End of owls.
Yeah.
Willow Song will kind of stagger, and you can see that she's having trouble breathing. She makes her way over to Tarkhal and collapses to her knees, and places her hands on him. And she kind of nods at Azara, who used the Spare the Dying, and then she will use one of her uses of healing for 10 hit points back to Tarkhal. She places a hand, and you feel this kind of green pulse of magic kind of erupt from her. And it, rather than this being this isn't divine magic, Azara. You can immediately tell this is ancient magic. This isn't even really arcane magic. This is almost I would imagine that this is, as she places her hand, sort of liquids and toxins kind of seep out of her pores, but those toxins are healing. It's almost a healing toxin, or a kind of medical sort of medicinal healing that she's doing. And yeah, 10 hit points back, Tarkhal. So you are currently at 10. And that's all she can do. Tarkhal.
I'm gonna run up this newly created bridge and try to find this man.
Yeah, I love it.
You just pop back up and you're
immediately Rainbow Road up this bridge.
So you're going to have to half movement to stand up, but then your 15 feet of movement left becomes 30 feet because of the nature of Galathir. So you get to the top. Like, you don't have to spend any extra movement. So almost as you stand on it, you feel like your feet become lighter, your step elongates and quickens, and before you know it, you're like on this guy who's like looking up in surprise to see you alive.
Yeah, so I surprised him, right? He didn't know I was coming, so it's like a sneak attack almost.
Well, you technically have some bird allies next to him now.
Yeah, so, I do. That's right.
So no advantage, but you can do sneak attack.
Wait, that means I needed my bird. I had bird friends the last time I attacked. I forgot.
Yeah, but you had disadvantage because you couldn't see him because of the fog.
I did. 17 plus 8. I know that hits.
That hits. Man is
pathetic baby boy.
So sneak attack.
23 damage again. The same amount. And then 2 more poison.
So 4 becomes 2, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Nice. So like as you fly up, you plunge Kiss of Silver like into his chest, and as it pulls out, you see like thick kind of like rivulets of this black-green blood, and he's like, ow, that traitorous wench. And he looks at you, he's just like, if I do nothing else, I'll finish you before I die here.
I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage and slide back down the slide to my friends.
Yeah, sure. You slide back down. He looks over and like just drops the 2 serrated blades and pulls out the crossbow and is gonna try and once more shoot you in the back.
Mm-hmm. Azara's watching all of this happen and is like holds up her hands ready to cast Spare the Dying again. She's like, I can do it.
Natural 1, 7. Misses.
Ooh,
so as
nice.
you're sliding down, I like to imagine maybe like Tarkhal like spins and like throws Kiss, like, because you know that he's going to do this now, right? Like he's done this before. You actually throw Kiss of Silver behind you, which deflects the bolt and like, and then like snaps back to your hand as you slide off at the end. Clyve of the Wildmane.
Yes. I'm gonna go to there.
So you jump up on the silvery bridge, whoosh.
Yep, that looks fun.
For sure. You fly up into the air, and like, now this guy is like very confused. Like he sees this lion man just suddenly appear along this silver bridge.
Mm-hmm. And I can reach him on this turn, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I start swinging.
Yep.
All right. First, reckless old attack. Oh, it's a crit.
Okay. So don't forget you do an extra D8 of damage because of the weapon, which would be crit affected as well. So you get 2 D8 this time on top of your normal damage.
So 3 D8.
Well, plus D8 for your normal weapon because you double that as well. So it's 4 D8 plus 8.
4 D8 plus 8. I like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Time to do that.
Do you have brutal critical as well?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So that's another D8. That's going to be 5 D8.
Okay. 5 D8 plus 8.
Yeah, because it's 1 D8 normal, D8, an extra D8 for the crit, another D8 for brutal critical, the dragon slaying property, which then doubles as well, 5 D8.
I feel like this man is dead.
This man is dead.
But we just want to know the numbers.
Damage. I want
32.
32 points of damage. How's he go down, man? Like this is all you now. Like, what do you do? He's like crossbow looking down. You've slid up this kind of silvery moon bridge right into his face. How does this go down?
I would probably like 2-hand the sword and just like looking down at him as he's crossbowing. Be like, oh, field goal then.
And then just head comes off, like decapitation. Yeah. We just watch as like this kind of half dragon, half human face kind of flips through the air. The body just kind of slumps to the ground, crossbow kind of clattering to the side. Just completely finished as you do so. As his body drops, now that all of your attention has been sort of drawn away, you guys have been focused on this fight with these creatures that appeared out of the air, this assassin, Tarkhal going down. You can hear the sounds of fighting coming down from the bridge and the entryway into Eveningstar. And you can see that skirmishes have broken out. Only small number of forces, it seems. And it does seem that the Eveningstar militia, thanks to the half-constructed walls. You have like Barangon and a lot of other characters. Kind of Aaron has led people to safety. They are holding their own, but you can see that there is at least 2 pockets of much more intense fighting. And a soldier, a dwarven man who you saw go off with Dusk earlier, called Cromvar. I made that up. Cromvar, who you know is one of your soldiers, like one of Illis's like better knights. He is like out of breath. He's like, my lord and lady, Blade Captain Alyssa, there's some abominations, beasts. When we strike them with our weapons, their wounds are healing. We need help. We need you to come and aid us on the bridge. And then there's more fighting in the town itself. Please hurry. And he's gonna call you out to come.
Azara will turn and specifically look at Tarkhal and say, if we can delay for 10 minutes at the very most, I can bring us a little closer to full health and what will aid us better.
Are you saying this to Cromvar? You saying this to the dwarf?
Yeah.
You immediately, like 10 minutes is
10 minutes
like,
is too much.
He says, like, we'll do what we can, Magister, of course. I'm just afraid for some of the soldiers. I don't think we'll pull through if we have to wait that long.
I can cast while I run. And what is it, like a 5-minute jog?
It's not far to the bridge, but you won't be able to cast Prayer of Healing when you do it. But you can cast other healing spells. You can cast
I don't have them because I didn't read Prayer of Healing. Wait, I never retconned a religious spell. Can I retcon this healing spell?
Yeah, you can have Cure Wounds. You can have Cure Wounds prepared. But you have to keep Prayer of Healing. You have to get rid of another spell.
Fuck!
The devil's bargain. Oh, there you go. Agnes has got Cure Wounds. Easy.
Okay.
But, if you want to get it too, that's fine.
That would help.
It would help. It really, and I can't get rid of Prayer of Healing.
Don't forget if you guys have potions as well. Like, so
I was just gonna say, can we run through the keep and I just grab potions?
Well, you don't. If you have potions in your inventory, those are the potions you have. Hulda's shop is in the town. You have to get through these fights to get to Hulda. So
we don't keep any potions in the keep. What kind of nobles are we?
Your inventory is your inventory. Rude, my sir.
We're changing this.
Agnes, if you can patch him up just to get to Hulda's, then we'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll have at least 2 healing potions at Hulda's that you can get.
Yeah, are you at like 2 hit points right now?
I'm at 10. Don't worry about me, guys. It's fine.
But
Let's just go save the people.
If Willow Song gets hurt, then he's dead too.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap him on the back with a Cure Wounds as we go.
Well, I think Willow Song is just like, in this form, I'm going to be a liability. I'm tough and I'm strong, but if they hit me, it will injure Tarkhal. I should try and secure myself somewhere.
Go.
Before you do, would you just like to max out your healing on the one that you've cursed?
I will, and yeah, she would have been doing this anyway. Like Azara says that as she's healing Tarkhal because
I'm just saying
she cares about Tarkhal. She
sure.
only has a couple of uses of this. That's pretty good though. 15 from her second use, and then her final use for the day is only going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. So 15 plus 9, 24 more points.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But yeah, she's like holding you and like you feel like this kind of like medicinal sort of liquid kind of coming out of her hands and like entering your wounds. And you watch as some of them begin to slowly mend and heal. And then she
does it make me feel like a Hulda drink?
No, it's purifying and cleansing.
Okay. Not intoxicating.
It's good. Yeah. But she sort of pulls her hands away and she's just like, there's only so much I can do. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Make sure you stay safe. So I stay safe.
I will. And she'll kind of like, she leaves her hands on like your shoulders just that touch too long. And then she pulls them away. And then she's going to basically begin running towards the main keep, like where you guys reside, basically.
For flavor text, I just want to note that the water dragon slides down with his arms up down the bridge to meet us.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just checking time because I lose track of all time when I'm GMing. Are we done?
I think that's it. Yeah.
I think that's about. That's what I thought. Okay. I think so. So yeah, this is. You can see that there's still fights going on, and I will say that the fight, like looking down at the bridge, because it's not that far away, you see 2 hulking creatures that look like almost like a bear and some other kind of like animal has been grafted with like one big giant draconic arm, like draconic horns protruding from its face. Its like mouth and snout has been sort of half transformed into a draconic version. And this thing looks like bad. Like it looks like some sort of grafted creature. And there's two of them, and they are like wrecking soldiers. Like one blow sends like several soldiers flying. It's got spears and like swords sticking out of it, seemingly unfazed.
This
and
is
that's
why I saved my level 6 spell for that.
Yeah,
Right there.
And that's where we're gonna wrap things up for Knights of Eveningstar. Woo boy!
Woo!
What an
I
episode.
almost died. This is great.
That was a really fun one. Thanks, Mark.
That was really
You
fun.
enjoyed
Thank
that
you
one?
for letting
Yeah.
Azara and thus Mica just rage this whole episode.
It is, and I want to make it clear, like I love it because I love the drama of it. Like
Yeah.
it is like I'm just trying to play another like very sassy female character who is
Oh,
like
yeah.
clashing hard. Like I love it.
This
It's like
fuels
nothing.
me. This
yeah,
fuels me
it's-
because the sassier she is, the sassier Azara
exactly,
gets.
and that's the problem. Is like this is like a dragon who are like incredibly proud and arrogant against a draconic sorceress who is very quite proud as well.
And arrogant.
Yeah, so it works really well. It's great. They're kind of a bit too similar. That's the problem, I think. But yeah, no, it's great. And yeah, Shady for a long time has been messaging me privately saying like, Mark, what's going to happen? Like, what's going on with this? And I said to him, I was like, do you want me to tell you? And he's like, no, but yes, but no.
Yeah. I wanted to find out in game, and now I know that the things that everyone said were right are right. And
It's
I mean,
crazy.
But
It's
there's
crazy.
still something there.
Yeah,
There's still
I mean, like I said to Mark too, I said, I get that my girlfriend's evil, but it's about the story. You have to just, you gotta go with it. I'm
But
not gonna.
also, it's like in Catfish episodes, everybody's like, look, it's the fact that you lied to me that I can't get over.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
and
right.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
this is also a green dragon who are the most manipulative, like deceitful dragons, and like there's obviously an element of that. But I will say one thing. I will say, and I hope this isn't too much of a spoiler. The plan was always that she wasn't going to actually care about Tarkhal, and then the way that things have been played and like Shady's RP and stuff, I was like, actually, do you know what? I think that this is going to maybe do some swayage. I think that there's some swayage going on. So this was originally meant to be a long con, like really raking you
Actually
under the
break
grinder.
my heart, and now
Really
it's-
hard, but I think
Yeah.
that like with the RP and like the way that the characters developed, I think that there's maybe still some of that going on, but also genuine care. So we'll see
I
how
mean,
it plays
listen,
out.
if there's one thing I know, it's that in order to defy your all-powerful ancient green dragon mom, you got to be feeling something. So
You gotta be feeling something. You
But for the
gotta- you gotta-
record, Agnis and Azara were right.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
putting that out there
That was
for the
never-
record.
That was never in dispute. That was
yeah,
no
that-
point.
that- not even in my DMs with Mark was that in dispute. That's
No.
not.
You're like, I know she's evil.
Yeah, but the story, you have to do the story.
Sure,
Yeah.
I
sure.
know
My-
that, usually in a story, if your family hates your significant other, you should take it as a red flag, but mine is different.
Right. Hey, listen, we're learning about this evil green dragon that was destined to destroy Cormyr anyway. And if not for Willow Song, we would not have any advantage of this information. So honestly, if we
You're
ignore the
right.
trees and look at the forest,
You're
This
right.
gonna be
boy,
a pretty tough
I
discussion.
don't need to do anything. He's selling it for me. I don't need to say nothing. I love it. No, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure playing with you. You guys are such a great group to play with. I'm super glad you enjoyed the episode and the fight. We're gonna have a couple more. One thing I never do enough was like chaining together smaller encounters. I'm giving that a go to kind of see how things go. But that was nice and fun. Let's do very quick shout outs. Starting with Mr. Nate Sharp.
Oh, that's me. I'm Mr. Nate Sharp. You can find me streaming on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, unless I decide not to keep that schedule. Twitch.tv/NateWantsToBattle. I choose Mica.
Hi, my name is Mica Burton. You can find me everywhere at Mica Burton, or you can watch me horseback ride on Instagram at Mica Strides, or you can find my dog at Rainy's Wild Shape. She's cute. I like her. Literally everything I'm working on right now is under NDA. So literally as of today, I haven't tweeted in like 3 days because I have nothing to talk about. So I'm going to tag Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. You can find everything about me at annaprosser.com. Something new I've been doing is I have a weekly recurring show called Cup Dates with Christina Wolfgram. It's been dubbed Calm Chaos or Chaos and Chill, and it's just a slightly comedy, slightly hang out with friends, come have your morning coffee and chat about whatever you feel like chatting about. It's streaming on both of our channels, Wednesdays at 11:30 or thereabouts, Pacific time. And you can also find my dog, who is the cutest thing about me, at Happy Nizki, Happy Nizki on Instagram. And I tag Shady.
Hi guys, I'm Shady. You can find me on twitter.com/ShadyPenguinn, but I don't really do much there. So you can find me at twitch.tv/ShadyPenguinn, where I stream a lot and I yell at pixels. And most songs written by Matt Thiessen still hold in 2022.
What?
And it's
how have we not talked about this?
Well, it's kind of wild. They hold. They're very good.
I don't know where this came from, but we need to talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it. And you guys should listen to it. So go do that. And then I am happy to be here. I tag Mark.
Thanks, man. I don't know who that person is. Listen, you can find me Sherlock_Hulmes on pretty much most of the places on the internet. Mainly on Twitter is where I'm hanging out. That's where I mainly post about stuff. You can also check out my other D&D show, High Rollers D&D. It's my baby. 5 years we've been doing it. We're in a very epic level, high level campaign. We've got a new studio. We're building that out. It's going to be super exciting this year. Potentially starting up our third campaign this year as well. So keep an eye out for that. The last thing is on Twitch, I have started a sort of alter ego called Basic Lich, who you can see every Friday on my stream, where I will look very different. And you can come check that out. And that's a lot of fun. That's been a lot of fun talking about gender stuff and all that kind of good stuff to play around with. So come and check that out. And that's it. That's it from all of us. Thank you, White Text Friend. And yeah, we will see you all hopefully very soon as more episodes come out. Take care. Bye-bye.